Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Childhood Find. Thank you for joining me here today. I haven't done a haul video in a while, so I figured we might as well do it this week. I have gotten a decent amount of stuff. Sourcing is still a little difficult. I go out a lot, guys, so I source a lot to get the items I'm getting. But I do have some good stuff to share with you and a variety of stuff, I would say. So let me know in the comments what your favorite thing is that you found recently. Doesn't need to be most valuable, just your favorite thing. You'll know what my favorite is once we get to it. But I did get quite a few really good books this week, which has been a great thing, and just, a variety. So let's go ahead and get started. But just a little bit of how I do these videos. So I'm going to show you the item. If I know about the item, I will talk about it. And then I will try to either post my listings up here on the side or post sold listings or listing, if there's no sold, an idea of the value. I just want to try to give you an idea of what I am picking up and what it's selling for. If you see my listings, please know that I do really try to price competitively. And so I try to get the price as accurate as possible and not inflate it, I guess is what you could say. So let's start with a few different things. This one's pretty cool. This is a bookend, and I do think it's bronze. Maybe. I don't know, but it's a very neat bookend. It's a single one, but if you get interesting bookends, you can definitely sell just singles. And I actually have two examples of singles in this video. So keep that in mind that I've sold singles before for good money. And I'll show you that other one really quick too, since we're at it. And this is the other single. I do believe this one's antique and probably from the early 1900s. It's a woman with kind of at a fountain, I believe. It's a very just interesting, very pretty piece. And I couldn't imagine getting less than $35 to $40 for this one. And then we've got some tools. You know how I am about tools, guys. I just tried to throw it on the ground and it just came apart. Whoops. It's a planer. And I actually just sold one very similar to this, which is why I picked it up. And it's a Stanley Rule and Level Co. number 45. And these sell very well. Things like these sell very, very well. I believe I paid about 10. There's this person that has yard sales a few times a year in my area that they know me pretty well and they know that I'm willing to pay. And so they give me very good deals. And this one I think was around 10. I feel like it's at least, I believe I sold a full set of that one, something like that, for over 100, but I bet probably 60 plus for that. And then I got one other. This one's heavy. And this is a number 6. Can't quite read that, but another nice planer Bailey. And these just sell very well. They are hard to get affordably, though, is what I have found. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And I do believe this is a $50 to $60 one, and I think I paid like 20 for this. But again, he gave me a bulk price, so once you average it out, it's not quite as much for everything. And then I want to talk about some of the books I found because, well, these I actually got from one of my sources. It's actually the source that I bought all of my Grateful Dead bears from. She calls me from time to time when she has little collections of stuff, and she had a collection of Wizard of Oz books. These are not first editions, but they're older hardcover, and these ones tend to sell pretty decently, even not being first editions. I think they're probably 40s to 50s releases. I'm not completely sure. I'm not an expert on this. I just know I have an idea of how to identify first, and these aren't, but they're still desirable. And I got 14 of them, and I'm just going to show you a few of them because once you see a few of them, that's all you really need to see. But keep an eye out for these older hardcovers. This one's The Road to Oz, and then this is The Wizard of Oz. I believe this one was copyright in the 50s, so that one did have 50s. And The Lost Princess of Oz and The Land of Oz. But I got 14 different ones of these, and I paid $100 for all 14, which I think is a great deal. You know, I'm willing to pay up a little more at my sources just because they're providing me these items, and I wouldn't have a chance to these items otherwise. And then here, oh, I have one more sitting down here, and the Emerald City of Oz. Now here's a few more books. This one I got at a yard sale. This is Polite, Polite Polite Life and Etiquette. There we go. Got it. And this one I believe was from the late 1800s. And I think it'll be about a $30 to $40 book. And it does have the gold edges. But again, I have said before, don't fall into the trap of if it's old, it's valuable. Because this was a little different. And so that's why I picked it up. And I do think it'll be a $30+ book. But just because it's old does not mean it's valuable when it comes to books. This one was just interesting. This is an older one as well, and it's Fairylands of the South Seas. It's in nice shape. Let's see what year this is from. And this one's from 1921, so technically antique. And I don't know about this one, probably at least $20 plus. And then these, I've sold these before, so if you've watched my channel, you know them. But they are the Foxfire books, and these were written in, I believe, the 80s, 70s, 80s, and they're essentially prepper books. And there are 7 or 8 of them. And here's the first 3 in a little box set. I got this at a yard sale for probably $2-ish, really late in the day. And I think about $30 is what this set will be worth. And then my mother-in-law spotted this at a sale, luckily, before me completely, and she brought it up to me. And it's Black's Law Dictionary, and this is a special deluxe 5th edition. This is a book that I have found a few times now, and it's one that it was on my holy grail bucket list to find, and now I found it multiple times. And it's one that I think people just don't know about as much. But every time I get them, they sell very well. The earlier editions, of course, are going to be better. This 5th one is pretty good because of it's pretty. For lack of a better term, it's pretty. And it's a deluxe edition. But typically, 3rd, 4th edition, those are where you want to be. Earlier, of course, but this one's still going to be about $40 to $50. And we probably paid a couple bucks at the estate sale for it. And then this cookbook I've actually picked up and sold before, and I have another one listed. So I know this cookbook, and it's from the Basque Kitchen. It's just one of those, spiral bound local cookbooks. This is from Reno one, so local to me. And I have sold it for $30 before. I have another one in kind of poor condition listed for I think around $20. This one I'll probably list for $20 to $25. And it just may take a little time to sell, but for like $1, that's worth it to me. And then let's talk about my books that I'm very excited about. So these, I'm again not showing you all of these either. But if you've watched my channel, you've seen me pick a couple like this up before. And these ones are very unassuming, and I know that's why I got them, because I got to this estate sale. This, I have to say though, this was the worst estate sale I've ever had to park at. It was when I had to escape, is how I'm going to put it. I literally had an inch on either side of my truck, and people were just, people don't think when they park, because when you're in a really tight road, your brain should say, okay, we should all band together and just park on one side so that there's room. But no, that is not what happened here. And it was a cluster, you know what. And so it was terrible to escape. It's the worst one I've ever parked at. But I got really good books, so it was worth it. It was just very stressful because luckily I can drive my truck. It was scary. It was real tight. But these books are Safari Press, and I have sold a few of these before. I got them actually pretty recently at an estate sale. I'd say within the last 6 months, and they sold very well. And these ones I got to this estate sale kind of late, but they were all sitting there. They were just all sitting there, and they're in slip covers. A lot of them, when they're in these slip covers, they were limited edition signed ones. So this is the last of Old Africa, dog hair. And let me show you. Here's where we can see the signature. And typically they say 1,000 copies of the first edition. But do know that I have a few others I didn't bring out to show you, that I have some other Safari Press ones that weren't first printings, and they weren't the limited edition ones, but they're still worth money. So if you see Safari Press, it's got this little rhino down here, and says Safari Press, definitely give it a second look, guys, because they're more about big game hunting, is from what I am seeing. And yeah, even some of the second printings, the non-limited edition ones, are selling very well. But a lot of these limited ones are selling for $50+, some into the hundreds. And I'm going to show you a few more of them. This is The Way We Were. And this is another signed one. I think I brought out the most valuable one that I'll show you in a minute. And this is Journal of a High Country Hunter. And this one, I again believe, oh, this one isn't signed, but this is still one to pick up, so they're not always signed. And this is Home from the Hill. This one also, I remember being a limited, and this one I believe is the most valuable of the lot. And this is Cannibals and Big Game. And I figured it'd be valuable with a title like that. And this one, I'll pull out and show you. Again, this is another first edition, limited to 1,000. And this is number 35. And it is signed, but I believe this is well over $100 one. And I mean, $100 for this little thing is a pretty good deal for me. Now I'm going to show you some of my favorites, because you guys know how I feel about Steiff and plush. So I am 98% sure this is Steiff. We don't have our tag, but it has the button. I can't quite see. I think it says Steiff, but the little Steiff bunny. Look at how cute this little guy is. And so this one I didn't pay a ton for. I have a couple that I paid up for that I'm going to show you. But this came from the one yard sale where he usually gives me a deal because I buy in bulk. And so I got this little bunny. And then this one probably won't be as valuable. It's not an older one. And this is Steiff. It's a replica of the 1909 one, but it's got its tag, has this, also has its ear tag. So the fact that it has all of that going for it helps. But do know that the newer Steiff are just not as valuable as the older one, of course. That makes sense. But this one I still can't imagine going for less than $25, $30, but we'll see. And then these two Steiff, I got at a different sale, and I got these, and I paid up for these because I couldn't leave them behind. And I got a Pluto there and a little like goat lamb. And these I paid $35 together, which is paying up, guys. But I do think I'm still gonna make money. The one flaw about Pluto is he did have damage on his nose. Luckily, my mother-in-law fixed him up, and he looks so much better. I'm going to disclose it into my listing that she fixed it up, because you can tell. But honestly, if you displayed this, you would not know that she did it. It looks great because all the stuffing was kind of coming out. So she made it look really, really nice for me. So I think it's going to be a much easier sell now that she fixed it up for me. And I do believe in good condition. These are 80 to 100. So even if I got 50 or 60, I'd be very happy with that. And then this one's name is Zicky. Yeah, his little name. This one's probably 50s or probably 60s. And it does have the tag in the ear as well. The bow's got not in perfect condition, but otherwise this is in pretty decent condition. So I imagine maybe 40 or 50 for this one as well. So, I paid up a little, but I'm still gonna make money. I didn't break the bank, is what I should say. And I got this one other old plush that I just had to get it because it is gunned, and it's old gunned. So here she is in all her kind of creepy glory, a yellow bunny. She is, she's in pretty decent condition, all things considered. I mean, look at her dress. It's not super stained. And I mean, I have to say, pretty decent condition. Let me show you the tag because you can tell it's old. So it says a gun creation. It's hard to see it. It doesn't say a year. Sometimes they'll say years, but this one doesn't. But it's definitely an older tag here. And so I can't imagine this going for less than 30. And I think I paid a few dollars for this. Then these, I don't know. They give me bronze vibes, but I'm not sure. Maybe brass. I don't know. I just have to do some research and see if I can find similars. But they're kind of wall hanging plaques. They've got these on the side so they can hang. I don't know. I I have no idea what these will sell for. I probably have a few bucks into them. They were in the bulk deal as well. My mother-in-law grabbed them, but I think they'll be good. We'll see. And then this I got at a yard sale. Saturday was a hard yard sale day. It was definitely like pulling teeth trying to find stuff. But this is Tiana's. It's a little purse, and it's Danielle Nicole. I just looked it up because it kind of gave me Loungefly vibes. And so I looked it up at the sale, and I think it's going to be a $50 to $60 purse, and I paid $5. I guess I should have opened it. Let's find out if it's disgusting to get. Oh, perfect. It's in good shape. Excellent. So I think that'll be a $50 to $60 one, and I paid $5 for it. And it's in nice shape. A very sweet little purse. This one surprised me when I looked it up at the sale. This feels kind of unassuming, but I figured I was at a sale. I couldn't really find anything else. I wanted to buy something, and it's actually Mary Kay, and the name is Tribute for Men Cologne. And I think this is going to be $100 one, and I paid like $1 or $2 for it. And you can tell that really hasn't been used. It didn't have a box, so I'll list it without a box, but I don't see any use. If it was used, then I would just list it on Mercari. And then these I got at a sale as well. That it was a sale where there wasn't a lot to get, but these were a quarter a piece. And it's called Black Suede, and it's actually Avon, guys, but it's still worth some money. And I do think the pair of these will sell for over $30, and I got 2 pairs of them. And yeah, it's just a good deal. It's aftershave conditioner. So I'm just starting to look all this stuff up because I figure why not? I'm just trying to branch out. And then I got some Cutco. I'm going through these kind of fast because I do have a decent amount to share. So I just want to be able to give you as much as I can in these haul videos to make it worth it for you. And this has that white handle. And so this I found it at the sale, and then I left it there because I thought, oh, the carving set's not usually super valuable, and it didn't have a price on it. And usually at this sale, they charge quite a bit if it doesn't have a price. They're not terrible. It's just, so I went and started to look at other stuff, and my mother-in-law grabbed this and grabbed a second one of the exact same style. And so I finally was like, okay, I'm going to look this up completely. And this turns out to be a good buy, which, I think it's because of the one I usually find, the carving set I usually find is the kind of brown woody handle that isn't as valuable. But this white handle is definitely more desirable. And so this set is going to probably sell for $60, $70 plus because it's got its box. It looks like it has never been touched. And I have 2 of them. And we paid $15 each for them. This here is a spotting scope. It's a big boy. And it is Celestron 60 millimeter zoom spotting scope. And it says the model on there. And it is in there. Always check boxes, guys, because sometimes people put their old stuff in boxes and it looks like it's hardly been used. I gotta look at it a little better. But this estate sale, it was a company, but this lady was so over this sale when I came, and I asked her how much she wanted for this, and she's like, I don't know, $5. Like, she gave no craps. And so I got this for $5, but I do think it'll be a $50 plus scope. It's a little bulky, but that won't be too bad to pack because it's got a nice sturdy box. So when I put it in another box, it'll be pretty protected. So even though I'm not buying as much nowadays, I am starting to get more high dollar items. I still, of course, fill out my store with some of the bread and butter, as we say in reselling, of course, but I am starting to get more high dollar stuff, which is nice. And this one's just a little Nevada belt buckle my mother-in-law grabbed for me. Even if it's only $10, it's a belt buckle. I don't care if this just sells for $10. I love belt buckles. I've talked about these before, these little stand-up displays, or these display stands, and they're brass. They usually sell. I will probably ask 20 to 25 for this one because it is a little larger and it's in nice shape. So I'm probably going to ask at least 20 to 25 and it'll sell for that. I have like $1-ish into this. Here's just a pretty little frame, as we call them here. And it doesn't say made in Italy, but this is definitely the made in Italy style ones. But it's just a nice, pretty frame. $15 probably. And then we've got some dishes, because apparently I am a dish seller now and I can't pass up money. So I've been picking them up, and so far so good. You know, it's been a nice thing to go into because it again opens up another avenue. So this one that I picked up, I'm not showing you all that I got in these patterns, just a little bit, and then I'll try to put up more of my listings or solds here to give you an idea. This one is Villeroy and Bach, which is definitely a pattern or a brand to look for. This one here, and this one is called Switch 3 Cordoba, made in Germany, and it says it on the back for me. If it didn't say it on the back, just use Google Lens to help you identify the pattern. But Villeroy and Bach is definitely one of those that quite a few of them are valuable. And this is like a little bowl, and there's some more of this pattern. This one is the salad plate with this nice bird design. I do believe the salad plates are going to be pretty valuable. I think I have at least 12 to 16 of them, and they'll be around probably 40 to 50 per 4 or so. And the same with the bowls, but we'll see. I also have some other, I have a couple rice bowls, I have a couple mugs, a couple other display pieces. I have these smaller dishes. I have a bigger serving one that I think is 50 or so, that I think I have 2 of those serving dishes. And she gave me, they were all kind of priced individually with sets, but she gave me kind of a deal because I bought most of this pattern for 58 of all that I bought of it. And I do know that I've been able to find some dishes, because dishes aren't a lot of resellers' favorite thing to sell, which I get. If I was not a full-time reseller, I would not be picking up dishes. But if I can sell 4 dinner plates for $50, I'm going to buy them. I can't leave money on the table, is where I'm at. And then I have this that I got from my source, and it's Linux. And Linux is also another one to look for in dishes, but not always. It's not always going to be super valuable. And it does say Linux on the back and says Eternal. A lot of times it does say the pattern name on it, but not always. So I have a gravy boat to show you. I have more of this pattern. Just here's some small soup bowls and then dinner plates. I had 20 of these dinner plates in this set, and they're about $50 per 4 for dinner plates. So that's why I'm picking up dishes. Then this one is probably the surprise of the day. We got this at one of the very last yard sales that we went to, but I had an idea it might be valuable. And this is SpongeBob SquarePants, and it is an adult size costume with one of the little fans, so that you are blown up and look just like that. If it was used, I would totally have blown it up just to see how my dog would feel about it, because I'm mean. And I think this is $100 costume. It's brand new. It has never been used. I paid $2 for it. I'm pretty sure it's $100. And yeah, and it's because it's adult. You know, a lot of these are child size, the SpongeBob costumes. So we'll see on this one, but pretty exciting find for $2. And then I have a board game here. This is the Star Wars chess set, and it's from 2012, so not super old, but I do think this will probably be in the $50 to $60 range. And you know, a lot of this stuff I like, because even if it doesn't sell right away, a lot of this is going to be good Christmas time stuff. And then this I wanted to show you just because it's just fun. This is called My Night of Love. What do you think's in here, guys? It's definitely vintage, and it is a pair of boxer shorts and a little heart that if you wind it up, it beats, just beats in the box. But it's vintage underwear, so I am going to list this for at least $30, because I know that someone wants this, and I know this will probably sell for at least that. So definitely, if it was used, I have a harder time picking up used underwear. I don't know enough to do that, but definitely it was jockey on the side, and it's a good size, the 38. So I think this will sell pretty quickly. And then I picked up probably about 15 action figures, but I'm not going to show you all of them just for time. And this one is Parademon, and it's DC Comics, the new 52. This one I think is probably a $25 plus one. I picked up these all just in a bulk lot, so probably, I don't know, $5, $6 into each roughly after everything's said and done. This one's pretty cool. This is Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Men. This one does come with a comic. It's series 6. And yeah, just a nice one. That one I think is a $30 plus as well. And then this one is Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, and it's Davy Jones. I've had good luck with slightly older Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. This was only $12.50 originally. It's from the Disney store. Sometimes Disney store stuff can be worth a little more because it's not as widespread. Disney parks too, but it's just got a little bit of fuzzing on the front of the plastic, but otherwise great condition and new condition. So I think this is a $40 plus one. And so I think that is pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you guys today. So hopefully you found something interesting. You can always put what your favorite item was in the comments so that you saw in the video. Mine, of course, is the Steiff. And guys, thank you as always for joining me, and I will see you on the next videos.